Good afternoon, troops, and welcome to Heroes and Generals Devstream number 21. I'm Rito Gargamel, the support guy, and with me is Rito Red Bjarne, the game director. And today we are talking about more of the Timoshenko features. We're talking about, if you're patient with us, we'll show you some cool stuff. But first you have to listen to us talk. And but it's something that all the generals will be interested in. Resource pooling. So I guess that's the first order of the day is resource pooling. So,
and you want me to explain this complicated thing to people? Yeah. Resource pooling is behind the scenes stuff we're doing on the way resources are handled from the strategy game to the action game. It's a step towards our new squad feature that will come. We'll talk a lot about that later. But the squad feature is not part of the Timoshenko build, but the rework of how the resources are handled needs to be done before we can do the squad feature. So the resource pooling is part of that.
So it's coming in T.
It's coming in T, yeah. Basically, we can say that it shouldn't actually affect any of the players unless we are in extreme cases of some battles where you only have 1 or 2 kills.
But maybe start from the beginning.
Yeah.
From what is it exactly?
Exactly. What it is that all the instead of having resources bound to each assault team, say an infantry team brings in 20 men, and infantry team 2 brings in another 20 men, and infantry team 3 brings in 10 men. So there's 50 men on 3 assault teams. As it is now, you sort of spend all the resources from one assault team, completely exhausting it, and then you move on to the next. Which means that some assault teams will never see battle, and some will get completely annihilated in the battle. And we think that that's kind of it's a bit uneven. So what we do with the resources is that we take all these 50 men and put them into one big pool of resources. And when you play the action game, you draw from that pool, and basically you draw from all the 3 infantry assault teams. So they sort of like lose the same amount.
So is it really like one at a time? Like first guy gets killed, gets taken from assault team number 1?
It's implemented. We can obviously change that if we see fit. But right now we're just using a randomized algorithm to pick each one of them.
So it's not a round robin kind of thing where it's like you, then you, then you, then you, and then we go again.
No, it's just random. But in reality, it should be sort of the same, but more fair because it's just randomized to who gets hit. Obviously, as it's said before, it will have the extreme cases where you have only 1 kill, then it only hit one
guy has to pay for it immediately.
Yeah.
But in most cases, it will
even out. Yeah, so it should be fine. The reason we do this is because the squad system will facilitate that you have a squad of soldiers. And that squad can sort of move around between battles and draw on the resources available. So they're not directly connected to an assault team. They are just drawing on the resources available. One of the things we would like to do with the squads is to expand them a little bit on what type of equipment and what type of resource they can draw on. So you have your ability to somewhat modify your squad. Given obviously you have enough experience, so that you can have like an infantry squad with maybe a scout car. So you sort of like a little bit can mix some of the different classes in the squad, but not just like a totally everything is in one pool.
So to recap, what we're adding now is that the resources are just taken from whatever's available.
Yeah.
It's not like we're using this team and not the other one. We're using whatever comes in.
Strategy players will experience that they do not get wiped out. The assault teams don't get wiped out all the time. They just lose some resources and then can move on, or they can pull back and regroup. So it's instead of the current version where we actually just get knocked out and then you have to redeploy and move all the way to the front again. So your assault team should, in theory, stay longer on the battlefield.
And you said basically the aim is, the long-term goal is that later you can say, I have this squad which ideally would like to have some infantry vehicles and then a light tank. So if that's available, we're going to use it.
Right now, the squads are generated by the action game. When you start up the action game, it generates some fixed base squads, you can say. And those squads, players are assigned to those squads, and they draw resources from the resource pools. Those generated squads, we would like to have those being generated by the players instead. So the player can define their own squads and put into the battle. The reason we have to do the generated squads is obviously when we get to the player-defined squads, then there will always be something left over, and we have the mechanic now to just take whatever is left over of spawn slots and stuff and just generate a leftover type squad that's going to be filled with the rest of the players.
I'm reading what they're saying on the chat. You don't want to read that.
Why?
I'll tell you later. So
no, but and actually one of the cool things about doing this system is that we are decoupling the player spawn slots from the assault teams in order to be able to recoup them or relink them later on. When we have the squads and the resource pooling, we can make the thing where squads pick the battles, or you can say a general having an assault team can pick a particular squad to see, I want you guys to play with my assault team. I think that's one of the things that the players have been asking for a long time is, hey, I want to play with my own assault team, but you will be able to do that with the squad system. It's just there's a lot of groundwork that has to be fixed before we can get to that point, and that's the reason why we took the first step of saying the resource pooling is step one in that direction, and hopefully the squad system will follow after that.
And I think I had this this other question related to that is does that influence the earnings in the strategy game in any way?
Yes, it does, because now it's spread out over the assault teams rather than being for one assault team. So it is spread out. And
so is it the same, like basically like randomly?
It's randomly as well, so it should be evened out.
So we blew up whatever. One of the guys at random gets the war funds for it.
I'm not entirely sure if we have the precise bookkeeping of this guy did this and this guy did, or it's just a randomized. I'm not totally sure that I know the specific mechanics of that part, but the idea is that in most battles there's so many resources in play that the end result will be almost the same. So it's rather having a simple system to maintain instead of a complicated one that almost does the same thing.
So,
but it should be it's for one of the later the next iteration of the strategy game, not in the T-build. For the next one, we're going to add some more features that will make this a lot more. It makes much more sense when we add those features.
So.
You're going on about the STG again.
I'm reading a comment here. Actually, maybe you could answer that one, because the guy's like, Knife Shark is saying, "Oh, this sucks because all the dumbasses who send in useless squads will gain war funds for their dumbness." But that's not the case, really, because if you send something that's useless, then nobody will use it, right?
Exactly. I mean, so it's obviously. When the squad is persistent, when it's created by the players and it's saved on the server, so it's one we'll add a squad leader ribbon and a squad member ribbon, and you earn points so you can expand on your squad and customize it and stuff like that. Obviously, you will also gain experience, so you can see how cool is this squad, and obviously the great squads will be the ones that the generals will pick because it's better chance than they actually win the war. So it's I hope it's not right though. But yes, there will be some squads that are beginner squads because they're just recently been created by new players, for example. But those wouldn't probably be picked by generals.
I guess we'll continue talking about it when it
gets closer
because right now it's kind of abstract. We can't really show it. Even
it's something it's still what you say partly in design process. We have the rough designs in place, and that's why we can start to implement some of the code in the actual game.
I remember why I wanted to bring something up here about the resource pooling is that we talked about that yesterday. The light tank assault teams where there's 2 slots for vehicles and 3 for tankers. So that goes away, right? That goes away completely.
It's an entirely new system.
So that one problem solved. So yeah, I guess good news.
Oh yeah, tiny little sentence, lots and lots of talk. But this is what that was the point you would actually try to make.
And since we're talking about stuff that gets fixed, we have a note here to mention that there is currently a bug on live which makes it so that you don't hear grenades bouncing. When people toss them through a window or whatever, you don't hear the ding, 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 ding. So that has been resolved, and in T, you should once again have some kind of audio cue that you should get out of the way.
Oh yeah.
And
otherwise, it's a little bit too dangerous.
Yeah. Did Rune mention tinnitus?
That's back.
That's back also, right?
Yeah, and the blurriness.
It's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
But did he say if it's both for tankers and infantry? I remember it used to be that inside your tank you would get that too.
I think it's just standing close to an explosion. That's what it used to be.
So any explosion.
Yeah.
So inside So your ears will ring and you'll have blurry vision if you're close to an explosion. So yeah. That's gonna be cool.
It was cool until it suddenly just disappeared.
Fire.
Spaghetti code.
So I guess we're getting close to the part where we can show stuff.
Yeah.
How about now?
To grab
so the concept we had was we wanted to grab to get inside a battle where Splixon
should do some of the few badges before we do
the badges. Sure. Actually, you can look up the badges right here in the in the interface.
But
because this way we can see what it says in game. So we decided to look at 2 badges that are kind of related to the ones we mentioned last time. There's tight grip. So here it just says that the cone expansion is reduced. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not very specific. Because last time we mentioned what was it called? Deadeye, right?
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah.
So and Deadeye says, if you look at Deadeye right next to it, it says, contraction of the crosshair. Do we have camera problems? No, we're fine. Okay. So Deadeye, what it does is it basically makes the when the crosshair expands, it increases the rate at which you focus again, and your crosshair kind of focuses on the target. But
so they can actually be used in combination.
It can be used in combination because tight grip, what it does is it, for each bullet fired, your crosshairs expand less. So one is basically the amount of expansion per bullet fired, and the other one is how fast you regain stability for your weapon. So if you have these 2 in combination,
they're good for automatic weapons.
Yeah, for automatic rifles, because assault.
Yeah.
Not assault rifles, but
light
machine guns.
Oh, so
what happened? Something.
Somebody actually rebooted the server. I guess that's nice.
Possibly. Splixon.
Don't redeploy the server while we have to use it.
We're going to. I'm going to ask directly on the chat. Did you?
One of them was the quick draw and tight grip.
Don't look at me.
Oh.
No, but honestly, what did they do?
I don't know.
Well, now it's doing that thing now.
Let's see.
I guess it's fine.
Let's take the other one that was tight grip.
Yeah, and the other one was quick draw. I wanted to look at. So quick draw, similar. but that's when you turn. So if you
that's the stuff we call sway now.
Yeah,
right? When you turn and
the weapon is kind of not exactly.
Yeah, but also the crosshair will expand when you turn, and this actually reduces the turniness as well. So,
but it's kind of it's pretty much the same behavior. It's all sway really, but this is sway when you turn, and the other one is sway when you're kind of like you're shooting several bullets at the same time. And
so this is actually good for people who move and shoot.
So it's like SMG battles.
Yeah.
If you're firing from the hip and all that, you might want to have that. So did we get our server back? Yes, we did. So the question is, can we get a hold of Splixen? Maybe you should try with the in-game chat. And,
why do we not want to get a hold of Splixen?
Just to make sure that because he's also listening to us, but there's a delay here, so he doesn't.
I'm gonna join a mission and then what?
Oh.
Should I just join the one that's in progress? Maybe?
He's on the same faction, but that's fine. I guess.
That's okay. I can still shoot at him.
Yeah, exactly. You won't have the satisfaction of shooting his smug face.
Oh yeah.
Is it just me or?
It just takes a while.
It's
for some bizarre reason. So
or is it just not doing it?
That's fine. Failed to connect to server.
Somebody broke something.
Why?
Oh, that sucks. Because otherwise, you got the local build there.
This is on the test server. So
but do you have the graphics build?
Nope.
On this thing?
Nope.
Crap. What we could do is start another one. Another battle, and just maybe. But we have to wait for this one to cancel.
Yeah.
Talk about something else.
Some questions.
Let's. We should have. Oh wait! Robotron is telling me that the game is running for other people. They are inside the battle. So. What's going on?
It's not on this one.
Yeah, it's not working on this. Okay, we really don't know why this is going on. I think it's this machine maybe that has a.
I ran it half an hour ago, so maybe.
How about close it, restart, close HNG sync and all that, and start again because this is bullshit. It's not supposed. This is not supposed to.
But it was funny that it actually relocked. So something odd must have gone on.
But so we kind of read everything that was on our sheet of paper. So maybe we can. We're back. It's okay. I mean, honestly, I was kind of counting on those tanks. Oh, did I say tanks?
Oh, now there's no battle.
Now there's no battle. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go for this one.
Just start one.
Let's see this one.
Yep.
And there.
There we go. See, I knew. All right. Sorry about that. So I guess the battle was ending,
maybe
or something.
Maybe.
But then again, it's like it's on test.
Oh yeah.
So on test, there's bugs.
But sometimes
this is a buggier version of the game. Really.
No, but also the thing is that everybody's still working on the game right now. The Friday hasn't ended yet.
Yeah.
So and you can by checking in stuff, you'll be able to reboot the servers, and that just happens sometimes.
They want a force start button.
You do? Oh.
Maybe we could explain. Actually, I went and asked Henning the other day why there's a timer at the beginning of the action game. Because you're already especially in the. Well, I guess I'm going to shut up about that. We'll talk about this later. So this is the T38, is it?
Yeah. Render. I need to get another weather setting.
D38. Controllers. Weather preset. GH. Add some. Yeah. Number 2.
Good one, Thomas.
2, 6, 8 is good too.
8.
Yeah. 8 is like
right.
Stormy weather.
Here we go. Yes. Here we have the Soviet T-38 light tank.
And
where is Spixer?
do you know if in real life it's supposed to like have a turret that turns completely around? Because I have a hard time picturing where your legs are supposed to be when you're inside. If you're sitting,
usually the seat just turns with it.
the seat, yeah, but yeah.
I have not been inside one of these things, but it's funny to see the first tank there. They're so small.
It's it is a can of sardines. With so this one has a it has.
I think actually, if I remember correctly, this is one of those things that was actually based on an American design. That the American Army like rejected. It's a really good design. The suspension and everything. And he just went away and said, "Oh, fuck you, American Army, I'm going to sell my design to the Russians." He sold it to the Soviet Union instead. That's cool.
It looks a little bit like the M2A2.
Yeah. You see here, maybe I should talk a little bit about this because people have been looking at it.
I mean, it's hard to miss. So there's a propeller in the back.
There's a propeller in the back, and this is actually an amphibious tank. It was supposed to be amphibious in the game, but we had to, at the last minute, switch it off because the guy who was supposed to do it had some time. He was doing some hit detection that needed to be finished.
Kind of very busy with something else. But the plan is to have it at some point. It's going to come in
at some point. Yes, so obviously it's super cool that it can actually float and sail.
So because it's the first thing that we would have something in the game that floats, right?
I know Ville is very keen to add the amphibious vehicles, and I think that would be really cool as well.
So because eventually that would be able to add more with the same code.
Yeah.
Once you have the code, because you need the code to kind of tell, okay, this object is floating.
Yeah.
This means that it behaves in this or that way.
A little bit of a different type of control of this. Not much though. It's fairly simple to do, but it does provide you with some tactical advantages because now you can actually get light tank across the rivers.
And it's fairly fast. It's very low profile, like literally.
Yeah. So it's not very heavily armored though. It is.
But it's kind of nice if you want to go and find a sniper and kind of end him.
Yeah.
You have and the machine gun inside is the same as the Soviet.
You have to think of the light tanks as more of supporting infantry rather than battling other tanks. Really, when you play the light tanks, if you do not confront heavier tanks but go for the infantry, it's a really good
vehicle to have.
Yeah, it gives you a great advantage against infantry. But obviously stay away from heavier tanks and also be aware of infantry guys with the mines and stuff.
This is the thing. If you have people playing as a team, people playing as a squad, and one guy is a tanker and the other guys are kind of covering his back, then
one of the things
they're really hard to kill.
It's one of the things that it's the purpose for the squad system that you can follow. So you say like I have a squad of playing with 4 friends. And instead of 3 friends, instead of adding another spawn slot to your squad, you can expand one of the spawn slots to be able to accept the light tank, for example. I think you have a super infantry team.
You have a company somewhere on the map. Look, you got. I don't. Yeah, he's right behind you, Spixen.
Yes,
somewhere behind you.
Can we have anybody else in the company join in if they want to get shot at? Then they'll probably kill me all the time anyway. Don't join!
Just one thing, I hope we don't join in and start spawning things that we want to keep for next week.
We're just going to keep it at a distance and teasing people.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so this is the first light tank you unlock, and the machine gun inside it is the same as the DP-28, right?
Yes, it's 7.62.
Except it shoots armor piercing.
It does shoot armor piercing. Yes, that's true. And you can modify it to use a better. But the Russians actually have quite a few different. Soviet has quite a few different types of armor piercing bullets. Experimented with heavier bullets and stuff like that. Oh, what do we have here?
Oh, yeah, the shoe.
What the fuck?
And we have this guy there.
Hello, little man. Do you want to die?
Where is he?
He's gonna get into my sights soon.
There he is.
I think I got him right. Yeah.
Did you?
Hit him.
You heard him. There you go. So yeah, where's the
goddamn shoe?
He's gone. It was like the phantom shoe.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the next tank.
Yeah, the next one. And you got this, of course. So this one is since we're holding it, that SMG is the entry level SMG.
Yeah, that was the T-38 we were showing. Now we're gonna go for the T-26, right? There you go.
26. It looks a lot like the what's it called, the German.
The Panzer 38.
Yeah,
yes,
the Panzer 38, right?
The 38 is actually the Czechoslovakian tank that the Germans just captured and changed the name of. It's a completely different tank than all the other tanks of the Germans, but it's like, hey, there's a lot of tanks, let's use them. I think these ones were really used a lot on the Soviet East Front, like when they were fighting the Japanese. The Japanese didn't really have any particular heavy tank.
There he is again.
They had a lot of smaller tanks. He's on my side, so I'm gonna get a team kill for killing him again. Okay. Come on, people, join! Give me somebody to shoot at.
And so this one has. It does have a bow MG, doesn't it? Or
C? It's obviously.
Press C for the.
Sorry. Here we go. Whoop! Wait.
Or does it? No, it doesn't.
No.
Not this one. So it's kind of like equivalent to.
Stuart.
Yeah.
38mm.
Who's that?
I don't know. Somebody who.
It's that guy.
Recons.
Well,
I hate those guys.
You know what to do. So,
let's see.
So what you got now?
Oh, I'm back in the.
You want to get out of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna
show the other one. The ID 8.
Cheat a little bit here. See if we can find this Fox. Radio Fox. I'm gonna have my AP bullet right up there where it fits. It has quite a high profile though, this one, this tank. Oh! Oh, fuck.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's another Russian. Soviet.
He's doing what I.
He's taking my.
He's doing what I hoped he wouldn't. As in. Yeah, but you could show us the one that he was driving around in.
No, this is he actually stole my.
He stole yours.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. No, because I think we could show the next one. Why? Whatever, we can take it. Easy a little bit. Yeah, we got plenty of time to kill. So let's just. I'm gonna start reading the questions actually.
I just ask away while we drive.
So yes, do ask away. And let's see. Actually, unrelated question. There's a guy called Magala or Magala who's saying, when do you plan to add the voice over IP to the game?
We actually did that. We had it in the beginning of the game's life, but we actually removed it. It seems like people are just using whatever they TeamSpeak or something instead, so we really didn't see any point in adding it. The reason for not completing it was that the company we talked to that provided the software, they wouldn't really accept the free-to-play model, so they actually would ask us to pay for people using it, and that does not compute on the. It would be really expensive for us to put in, so that's why we took it out. We haven't really looked into it recently to see if they've changed their plan. We had some crazy ideas in the beginning about what to use with voice over IP, so like use it in the game. So if you speak a lot, the enemy can hear you. That would be nice. But obviously, and people they can just circumvent it by using TeamSpeak, so it doesn't really make sense. But that would have been a nice feature.
But also on games that have voice over IP enabled by default,
usually
it's
get
like
a lot
opening the gates of hell, isn't it? With
my son usually plays when he plays on Xbox, plays a lot of Battlefield and stuff, and he usually uses the voice over IP, and it's he seems to like it a lot.
Okay. I don't know.
Obviously, there is some of the occasional trolls around, but
I knew quite a few actually. I had a friend who's like fun in life was to play Halo, and the entire game he would just make goat noises.
Oh.
It's like just take his microphone, and go. And just,
some people are just not. There should be a law against that.
Yeah, actually, in real life, he's a security guard.
Why is it always that people who have
authority?
He's also, but maybe he's missing something in his life. It's just like I need to
unwind.
Yeah. Oh, so there is. Just need to. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. So why didn't he just see a deadly tank here? Move away. So,
DWZ is asking, DWZ plays, the question. Any plans on adding winter maps on T?
No.
We kind of answered that before, but it comes back every week, so let's answer it again.
We are moving to, first of all, to add some more maps with the current terrains we have, and obviously next thing would be to add another terrain type, and then we are looking into how to change the season of all the terrains. We would like to have it so that all the maps are available in sort of like a summer, spring, and fall and winter setting. So you have the same map in 4 different looks. So that's how we're going to do. We're not going to construct a specific winter map like that. So it requires a lot of rendering techniques and stuff to make that happen. But that's better, I think, for us, because we get more variety out of the current maps we actually have. But adding winter would also require us to at least have one uniform per character type. That's a winter uniform, and all the vehicles actually maybe needs to have some winter paint as well. Otherwise, it would just be super easy to see the vehicles, because they would just be black and white. So, but it is definitely something we want to do at some point.
And what about? No, sorry, it's not completely unrelated. I made it sound like yes. And speaking of that, completely different question. Pitbull 1973 asking. That's actually something I have no idea. Why that is? Why are coaxial machine guns on tanks mapped to weapon slot 3 instead of, for example, right click? Why not? Why not have right click?
It is something that we have been discussing a few times. I think, if I remember correctly, that people thought it would be way too powerful if it was to be fired with the right mouse button instead of the left, because then you could actually
change your mind?
No, you could shoot.
But as no, I'm not gonna aim and shell. I'm going to just strafe with a machine gun.
Yeah, it would probably be too powerful. But it's a good question though.
But I mean, in a tank turret, you have one guy who's manning the gun. I mean, the coaxial MG is like you have to kind of.
No, that's usually it's if you also see the best example I can give is the Tiger 1. If you look at the reticle, it has both the MG and the gun in the same turret, and usually you use the MG to home in with the more like a rangefinder type thing. You shoot with it to see where you are shooting at.
Okay.
So you don't really use the coaxial for shooting at people. It's more like to aim the gun. But Second World War, the most effective gunners didn't really aim the gun. They didn't readjust the gun. They were good at finding, like reading the terrain, figuring out the enemy is probably going to come from here when they advance. Okay, and then they would find a good spot where they would put the tank up to be able to when the enemy finally came, and they would know the distance, and they would actually park the tank to be within the perfect distance for their guns, and obviously then they would have to preset they had preset the sights, and it was all about just aiming and firing. That was a technique that I know a lot of the German, especially the German tank commanders used when they were in a defensive position. They especially on the Western Front.
So they didn't readjust.
They didn't readjust the sights. They just read the terrain and had a good setup from the beginning, and then just fired at the optimal range for their guns. And I think that's also why they could rank up so many kills. For some of the tankers had a lot of kills. So it's a bit different technique than readjusting all the time.
So we're going to move on to another one. Actually, there's a follow-up question to the winter thing. Knife Shark is asking, will there be seasons on the campaign map? So, for example, a time when there's only summer maps, only winter maps?
That is definitely the intent. With the same way we have the night and day cycle, the seasonal cycle should have the same, and obviously weather settings. So we haven't just the campaign map is not that dynamic yet, but it's definitely one of the things that
Fox is being obnoxious here, like pushing you around. Oh, or is he?
We can't.
Yeah, your turret is pointed too high, is it?
Yeah, but that's one of the problems with this one is that the turret is very high.
Now would be a good time to machine gun instead. You're shooting armor piercing, by the way.
Oh, for Satan!
And you're lucky you actually got him. So
we still have one tank left to shoot, don't we? Shoot. I'm gonna.
Yeah. You should. Yeah, probably.
I'm just gonna get out here. What do we have here?
That's one of
Oh, for Satan! Oh, I'm gotta steal a thing. Oh, fuck!
So how about you spawn the other tank? No?
Yes. No, I'm gonna do a little cheating here.
It's 8.
There we go. This is the BT7?
The BT7.
No, the T26.
No, this is the BT7.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's true. Completely.
That's the BT7.
That's the BT7. That's true.
It's awesome.
It's really nice, yeah.
It's so nice.
It's fast.
And if I'm not mistaken, on the side it says Zarodinu, which is for the motherland. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Awesome. Soviets are awesome. This tank is really nice.
It's got a very distinctive look.
I also like the animations. I need to put a little emphasis on showing that he holds the lid and stuff like that.
It opens from, it's backwards compared to other.
I think that's usually most of the Soviet tanks actually opens up, which is pretty convenient if you're getting shot at from the front. I think if I'm not completely mistaken, if you can you see just in this the front of this tank has sort of like a pointy nose, and you can see that the skirts there's a lot of room inside here for the front wheels. This particular tank had a very strange feature that you could take off the tracks, and then it can actually steer with the first front set of road wheels. So and if you see the actual wheels on this, there's no. Usually you have a driving wheel at the end that has that grips into the tracks and drives it, but this actually drives with the road wheels instead. So it can drive on normal roads without the tracks on it.
Huh.
That's also, you can see the tracks are a bit different than the other ones. It's more like that, just a plated thing. It's because they are made to roll with the wheels, with the road wheels, rather than a traction wheel at the back. It's I think it's the only tank I know that has this strange feature. But it's one of those when in the early tank development, obviously they tried out a lot of different things, and it's just like, hey, let's make it into a car when it's just driving on a normal road. This has actually shoots it has the same cannon as the.
If you want to, by the way, if you want to show the tank around without the turret constantly turning away from you, hold down the right mouse.
Yeah.
And
if
then
you
can show the front of it and all that. That's more fun.
Yeah.
There we go. And this one has a bow MG, doesn't it?
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Change seats.
Or not? No, it's the medium ones that have that.
Yeah.
I was just grabbing screenshots of the medium tanks. So.
The funny side.
So this is the same armament, really. It's,
yes, it actually.
But is it the same caliber for the gun?
Yes, it's
as the other.
Yeah.
This
just has a better armor, and I think the other one is actually slightly faster.
But still, for this one, for the amount of armor that it has, it's still fairly fast, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not sure how are you supposed to read that rangefinder?
I have absolutely no idea.
Completely,
It's probably something with the. Usually, I don't know. There's different techniques. Some sites have like a wide bracket that says if this thing fits within this bracket, then you are this far away. It's a bit of a. I think that the tank gunners needs to be really good at reading landscapes and sort of like thinking, hey, this tree is 500 meters away, something like that. This house is whatever distance. Not like the modern guns that have like laser rangefinders and stuff like that. Computer targeting systems that wasn't really used at that time. It was really hard to use a cannon. You probably see some of the tank battles where they fired a lot and they missed all the time because it's really hard to aim the guns. Especially you couldn't really fire when moving, but they tried to do that anyway. I think the Russians actually had some weird doctrine about they should fire when moving in order to make it difficult for the Germans to hit them. But obviously it resulted in them not being able to hit anything. So it wasn't really a good tactic.
But it looked cool.
Yeah. Do we have some more questions?
I think we do. I was actually So I was asking Robotron on Skype here about the it is faster. It's the fastest and best armored of the light tanks. So this is why it's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's because you have the same firepower as the other one, but faster and stronger. So it's pretty fucking awesome. But what is that thing that's looks like a horn on the side there?
I have no idea what that is.
It's just like I have no idea what that is. But yeah, I really like the all the shovels and axes and stuff that's added on the side though. Looks really cool. So Yeah, about questions. Let's go like a whole bunch of questions here, I'm sure. Now, questions relative to. I'm reading your questions right now. Okay. There's a big silence now. Oh, actually, I have the stats for the driving speeds of the various light tanks. So the first one we showed, but I'm not sure exactly. Wait a minute. 2 seconds. So what do the different numbers mean? So I'm getting numbers from Robotron. I'm not sure what they mean. Because he's giving me like this or this.
It's probably on-road and off-road.
On-road and off-road.
Yeah.
But this is not implemented yet, is it?
Nope.
Because there was some talk about
I'm still waiting for it.
We're still, but it's not yet there on road off road. Okay, so well, that's
the hit detection stuff really took a lot of resources in here.
Yeah, but these stats are from actual like real life vehicles, I guess. Then, so the BT7 on road. So that's the one you're driving now. BT7 has a top speed of 53 kilometers per hour. On road, off road is 38. The T26 clocks at 30, so that's a little bit slower. And the T38, which is the smaller one, actually only goes to 45 on road. So it's this one is still the fastest, even though it's the heaviest in terms of armor. So.
I think this is, from looking at it, it seems like the Soviets, especially in the beginning of the war, wasn't really putting a lot of effort into developing new guns. It was more about taking the stuff they had and try and refine it. They have a lot of different ammunition types, so they were upgrading the ammunition rather than making new guns. I think it's just from being under pressure, and this is probably one of those things where it's easier to put some more armor on it and a bigger engine than try to make a new weapon system.
So, just want to see if there's a. People are asking what happens when all three factions hit one city.
Then we have the
three-way battle.
Three-way battle, yeah.
Should we talk about that now, or?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Because
we could show it. Also, we could try to show it at some point.
I don't know if people can join in here. It is a war mission, so it should be able to. We have the Soviet version, the American.
So if the Germans join now, they would actually be able to.
Yeah, but we have it's set up so they should do it at the beginning of the mission. We have a timer that allows before. I think it's currently set to about 10 minutes. So there's 10 minutes time frame where if three faction joins, then they. Then it's a three faction battle. Obviously, we implemented another feature called bleeding. It's usually a strategy that is implemented in larger conflicts. You could where you could say like if you have two people fighting, you might just wait until they fight it out and lose a lot of resources, and then you join. That's that some people would say that was what the Americans did during World War II. They let the British and Americans and the Soviets fight until they were sure that when they attacked, then they wouldn't lose too much. I don't know about that one, but that's at least the idea of bleeding is that you don't need to waste your own resources while the other guys fights. But we have a time limit that's put in. So if three factions meet within the 10 minutes, it's all about just adding as many resources as possible, and then we start up the assault with three factions. So usually that would be.
But we'll show it next week, I think, or the week after that, because.
But it is like as it sounds, like there's one defender and two attackers, but obviously the two attackers will be fighting each other as well. So it's kind of like a balance of when do you gang up on the defender and wipe them out first, and then you have to fight among yourself after that. Also, we have a little bit of balancing stuff that we still need to see how it plays out. Defenders are especially pressed if the battle is spawned where the attackers come from both sides. Mm-hmm. That's because then the attackers don't fight each other.
They don't meet.
They just put pressure on the defenders. So there is still some adjustments we need to do there.
But I guess then again, I mean, that kind of stuff can only happen on the campaign map so far, right?
No.
It would happen also in stage battles. We would have a stage three-way battle.
Yeah.
But then it's like if you want to balance that one.
That's what I'm saying. We have certain ways we can obviously give the defenders more spawn tickets, and we can make them spawn quicker, for example. And there's some things we can adjust.
But if it happens to you on the campaign map,
it doesn't really happen that often. It's very, very rare. But it's cool when it does, though.
I mean, I think we only did one playtest here in the office, right? With that, or did I miss one?
No, I think it's been done a few times. And but the thing is that it's we really need that to be out there on live and have all the real players try it out to see how it actually works. But it's definitely possible to do, and it's not going to happen that often because you have to be at the crossing of all three factions on the campaign map to make that happen. But we have I think, as far as I know, we have set up some three-way stage battles as well, and those we're going to use the metrics for those with the to see if they play out well.
Let me see if. They're talking about winter maps a lot. I'm kind of catching up on the last few minutes of questions. So, people are asking how to join the test server. That is not in the plans right now. And somebody's asking, Reynard France is asking, could we select name tags to be painted on our armor, like a Fury?
Yeah, something like that. It's also it would be something where we would design some decals that people could put onto the vehicles, because it would just be as soon as you can write your own text on a vehicle, then we have all the offensive stuff again that we need to take care of.
Yeah.
If people could just behave, then everything would be possible.
I'm still looking up. There's a lot of stuff that's more like requests than questions, as usual. I'm still scrolling down here. Oh, and no, you're not in the battle anymore, but I think we saw a little bit of the kill screen, right? When you shoot somebody, you see info at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. We'll show that again, I think, next time we have a battle.
That's one of the little touches that's come in as well. I think it's quite a big thing. It seems like a small thing, but it really makes it.
It's much cooler, and you see the guy's name, and you see his character's name also.
Yeah. And he sees what you named your weapon that killed him.
Yeah. So now offensive character names will become. All you guys with offensive names better change that, because that's not gonna fly. And people are still asking about the Private Mercy 8088. No, 888. Can you add some machine gun nests? We want machine gun nests.
Actually,
but you talked about it last time, and
actually there was. I just tried one of the new machine gun nests.
What? There's such a thing
it's
as
like it was the Soviet AA guns.
Ah, that one.
Yeah,
it's so cool. Can you show it?
No,
next time.
Next time.
The Soviet AA gun is so it's deranged. It's just deranged.
It's cool.
It's so cool. We're not going to show it yet. Well, I mean, you can Google it, I'm sure, but it is so mental. And I think we're slowly running out of time. Let me just. I'm still looking down the. People are asking about the Russian plane. Gunter guy is asking, will there be a Russian plane? It's the Yak 9, is it? That we got. We showed it. I think we teased it a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll show it
last
later.
time, so.
Yeah, we will show it later. And
that's actually a cool plane.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
And let me see.
Any more interesting questions?
I think I'm going to take one or two last ones. There's really a theme where some questions are very popular and coming. Like, will we have medics? But yeah, that one actually we answered a long time ago. Why not medics?
Did we? What did we answer?
Because it's boring.
Actually, we did talk about at some of one of the design meetings for the squad stuff that we should add the medic as part of the squad rather than as a specific class. And I think it needs a bit more work on the design side, but it's I kind of like the fact that it's something that you put into a squad rather than just running around on your own being a medic.
So you would equip a medic?
Yeah, and you would have to be part of a squad for some time to be able to unlock the medic equipment. So
how about to make a bot that sits in the back of the Jeep?
You can do that as well. No, but I think the medic it's something that's he needs to be part of the team as well, and not just being some medic dude that runs around. Having a medic in your squad would probably make it a really cool squad. So we'd like to take it in the direction where the squad is actually you and your friends, and you customize the setup of the squad within certain limits.
A lot of people are asking about the new weapon modifier, weapon upgrades, we should say, because that's the proper term, upgrades. That we'll talk about. I think there will be a blog post about that.
Yeah.
And.
Nothing much has happened to the weapon upgrades. We just renamed them to be upgrades, and we sort of like cleaned them a bit out. So we removed a lot of them and focusing on adjusting the weapons in various areas.
Well, now that you said removed, I have to say it. Then I think we'll make an announcement if it's not already out. I think it is, isn't it? Let's just go and look about exactly what happens with the existing ones, because.
We're going to remove everything from all.
There you go. Okay, so it's if you go and look at the news, you'll see it. So the idea is that there's a whole new system, and what you got right now will be basically taken off your characters and refunded.
Yeah.
So you get the credits back for it.
And the thing is that we're moving in a direction where we have fewer mods, but instead of the system we had before, we had far too many mods, and people didn't know what the difference was. So we scale it down a lot. So and obviously to be able to do that, instead of trying to map one mod to another one, and so if you just decide to let's just refund everything, and then people can buy some new ones.
Because they're not going to be exactly the same, right?
No, but no, they are not. But the system is the same, but the values are somewhat tweaked. This is also something that we're moving in a direction where we would like to. Right now, you unlock an entire category of weapon mods. We would like to have it so you unlock each one of them instead, because that gives the player a more layered introduction to the different mods. That you unlock this one, and we can say this one does this and this, and this one does this and this, rather than this whole category of triggers that actually does a lot of different things. But in order to do that, we needed to basically reduce the amount of mods available.
I guess I could take one last question here from Shakes Bob. Are there any future plans to add more video settings, more customization for those with higher-end machines? Because he says that the settings seem limited right now.
We should pass that on to the render programmer.
And the render programmer probably would be very happy to do something about it. Because he's been toying with even higher resolution and stuff.
Yeah, he
like
just
that,
got a 4K monitor. That's just insane.
Yeah.
Who needs all that resolution?
Can you really get like a frame rate that you can
It actually
live with?
seems to run sort of okay.
If you have a good
if you have a video card that matches, but 4K, you don't need anti-aliasing anymore. It's just it's crazy.
I guess we'll call it a day for now. We could mention before we leave that there's the screenshot contest, Battle Vision. So we contest
the Mexican standoff.
No, that's the winners we already covered.
Behind enemy lines is the theme.
Yeah, behind enemy lines. No, it's not Mexican standoff.
No,
that would be awesome.
But the
theme is Mexican standoff.
That's awesome. Yeah, but that was the name of the winner image from last week. Mexican standoff is cool.
So, what was I going to say? I have to make the usual announcements. If you just tuned in today, we talked about the resource pooling system, which is coming in Timoshenko. We talked about Soviet tanks. We talked about a little bit about weapon upgrades.
Resource pooling?
I mentioned that.
Okay.
And you can watch the entire thing, the entire episode on YouTube. We're going to upload it very shortly. And we're also going to, what was I going to say? It's going to be there on our Twitch channel that you can also follow. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook. And I guess that's about it. I will wish you a very pleasant weekend, and thank you for watching. Thank you for playing.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.